Number 34. Copper 2 sulfide is oxidized by molecular oxygen to produce gaseous sulfur trioxide and solid copper 2 oxide. The gaseous product then reacts with liquid water to produce liquid hydrogen sulfate as the only product. Write the two equations which represent these reactions. Okay, so I guess we'll combat the first one first, where they're talking about copper 2 sulfide is oxidized by that molecular oxygen to produce that gaseous sulfur trioxide and solid copper 2 oxide. Okay, so let's take it from here. So we have copper 2 sulfide. Now they kind of gave us a framework here, right? We have copper 2 sulfide is oxidized, so it's being reacted with. That's a plus sign. We have molecular oxygen. And when those two come together, we are going to produce, anytime that you see the to produce, you know that you're going to be yielding something, production. And they told us that we're going to produce sulfur trioxide. Sulfur, you are, trioxide, and the solid copper 2 oxide. Okay. All right. So all we have to do now is that we have the framework here, but we just have to write it down in chemical terms. So let's start with copper 2 sulfide. Now, this is an ionic compound because I see that I have a Roman numeral. Anytime that you see that you have a Roman numeral, you know that you're working with ionic compounds. And copper is Cu on the periodic table. So we have Cu. And the Roman numeral is always the charge of the metal. So copper, if you look on the periodic table, copper is a transition metal. So what charge is it going to be? Well, it's going to be the Roman numeral. So this is going to be a +2. Sulfide comes from sulfur on the periodic table, and that's just an S. And on the periodic table, sulfur is in group 16 or 6A. It's the same group as oxygen, and that is always the -2 charge. So all we have to do here is crisscross applesauce and simplify and call it a day. So I have 2 and 2. Use those charges to crisscross down to tell you how many of each you need. Well, they're both 2s, so that means that I would need 2 coppers and 2 sulfurs, but for ionic compounds, you have to simplify. The simplest form for 2 and 2, I can just divide each by 2 to get a simpler ratio, 1 and 1. And that is the compound for copper 2 sulfide. So I know that I have CuS. And if we want to put some solubility rules on here, sulfur or sulfides are usually insoluble. Now, there are some exceptions. Soluble. So sulfides are usually insoluble, but there are some exceptions. Majority of them are going to be in your group 2 list or your group 2 elements. So like calcium or barium, those would be soluble. But copper is a transition metal, so that means that it's just going to act as all sulfides do, and that's a solid. So now I'm going to combine this with molecular oxygen. Now, molecular just means that we're dealing with a molecule. So a molecule of oxygen. So I say to myself, well, oxygen is just oxygen, so it's got to be an O, right? But when you're dealing with a molecule, you have to say to yourself, is this one of your diatomics? And oxygen is part of the diatomic family. Remember Brinkelhoff or Knopf down. There's seven different diatomics, and oxygen is one of them. So this will always react with O2, or it will become O2. So I know, and maybe I'll just make this the color black just to kind of get different colors in here. So we have O2. And with diatomics, you have to know what their states are. And oxygen, O2 gas, I just gave it to you, but it's all around, right? This would be a gas. Now, the next one is sulfur trioxide. Now this, I see that we're dealing with di, tri, tetra letters in here. So we know that we're going to be doing this with the covalent way of naming. And with covalent, it's always just call it as you see it. They will tell you how many of each element you have. Now for the first part, it's just a sulfur. So for that, they didn't say disulfur or trisulfur or tetrasulfur. So if they just say a sulfur, you know that you only have one of them. But now they say trioxide. Oxide is the oxygen. But how many do you have? You have tri. That means 3. So this would be SO3. And that's exactly what we're going to be writing it as here, SO3. And they do give us a little hint. They say that this was gaseous sulfur dioxide or sulfur trioxide. So it's going to be a gas. And then the last thing we need to do is find out what copper 2 oxide is. So let's figure it out. Copper, just like before, that's a metal. So Cu, I see that I have a Roman numeral, and the Roman numeral is always the charge of the metal. So this 2 is going to crisscross down here, telling me that the Cu is a +2. And then oxygen is coming from oxide, right? Or oxide is coming from oxygen. So I have an O here. And check on the periodic table. Oxygen is in group 16 or 6A. So that group has a -2 charge. So it kind of is the same idea as the beginning where you had Cu2 plus, S2 minus. Now you just have Cu2 plus and O2 minus. But the idea is still the same. Crisscross these numbers down. And when you crisscross, nobody cares about the positive or the negative. This just tells you that you have 2 coppers and 2 oxygens. But since it's ionic, you have to simplify. So you could divide each one by 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. That's the lowest whole number that you can have. So it would be just Cu1 plus O. So CuO. And they did say that this was a solid. So I'm going to just put it as a solid. Okay, first one is done. This is the first equation. The only thing is this balanced? Well, you could either call it as you see it or try to make a chart. Now, let's just see if we could call it as we see it. There's tons of videos on this channel doing the chart method. So if you do need a little bit more extra guidance, we always got your back with so many different videos. You could go check out the channel. But in this case, I have 1 copper, 1 copper. I have 1 sulfur, 1 sulfur. But over here, I have 2 oxygens, and then I have 3 plus 1 oxygen is 4. So if I have 4 total oxygens on this side, and I only have 2, and I know that I can multiply a number to get to 4, 2 times what will get you 4? Yeah, you got it. I just got to put a 2 in front of here. And now the equation's balanced. So this is the first equation. Okay, cool. Now we're just going to do the second part. So it says the gaseous product then reacts. So remember, the products are always the right side. And we want the gaseous product. This one was a gas. Not talking about the CuO because that's a solid, but the gaseous one. So we know that SO3 gas is going to react with liquid water. So we know what water is, right? H2O. And they did tell us that this was in liquid form, so L. And it's going to produce, whenever you see produce, that's when we're going to be yielding. And we're going to be yielding liquid hydrogen sulfate. So there's the new compound here, but we can find it out just like any other one. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just bring this over here. So hydrogen and sulfate. Okay, well, hydrogen is just hydrogen, right? So that's an H. And on the periodic table, hydrogen is in group 1. So hydrogen would have a +1 charge. Now sulfate, if we did look for sulfate on the periodic table, we would not find it, which means that this is a polyatomic ion. And polyatomic ions, unfortunately, should be memorized. I've spent a lot of time memorizing them, but you can get it down in a semester, I promise you. There's only a couple of them. Maybe, not a couple, but there's maybe, there's at least like 5 ones that you should know. And sulfate is definitely one of them. Just like sulfate, nitrate, carbonate, all your 8s you should have under your belt. So just take some time, use your flashcards to just memorize the polyatomics. But sulfate, from memorizing, is SO4 with the 2- charge. Polyatomics will always be the same number of elements for whatever they're called for with the same charge. So sulfate is always going to be SO4 2-. And now we're going to use those charges as my voice slowly goes. Oh boy, this is not good. I'm still under the weather, guys, but I'm trying. Okay. Got to do it for the videos. Got to do it for you guys, right? I really want you guys to succeed. So bear with me while my voice slowly changes into some other person. But anyway, +1 goes down here, right? There's a 1 on here telling me that SO4, there's 1 of them. And then this 2- crisscrosses down, telling me that I need 2 of the hydrogens. And remember, when you're crisscrossing, the positives and the negatives, they go away. So now all I know is that I have 2 hydrogens and then the 1 SO4. So H2SO4. And they told me that it was a liquid. So this is a liquid. And it says that it's the only product. So we're good. Now we just have to make sure, is this balanced? Well, let's see. I have 2 hydrogens. I got 2 hydrogens. I got 1 sulfur and 1 sulfur. And then let's see. I have 3 oxygens plus 1 oxygen. That's a total of 4. And oh, thank goodness, 4 oxygens there. So that's all balanced. And that's the second product. So here you go. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for viewing the video. I really hope this helped you out. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. That will help us out tremendously. And I thank you so much for all your support throughout this whole journey. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Keep studying hard. I believe in you guys. And I want you guys to succeed. So I'll talk to you soon, okay? The next lesson. And I'm going to have some tea now. Okay. My voice will be better, hopefully in the next lesson. Okay. Bye-bye.